Hey, did you ever wonder if those tape recorder plugins sound like tape recorders? Well, I have a tape recorder and I have those tape recorder plugins. Today we're going to compare the UAD ATR 102 plugin to my TEAC A6100 tape recorder and see how they stack up against each other. Better get your headphones out and get them cranked up. You might need them on this one. Let's go.
Yeah, I bought this TEAC 2-track quarter-inch machine 45 years ago, and it was the machine we used in our first studio, me and a couple other guys. It is still working perfectly. I keep it around as something that's just in the room because it looks cool, and when players come over and we record, they go, "Hey, you got a tape recorder? That's pretty neat." I go, yeah, it's right over there. First tape recorder I ever bought. We're going to be A-Bing my tape recorder with the Ampex ATR 102 plug-in by Universal Audio. Going to record to the trusty TEAC here. Got a monitor mix of a tune here. I was thinking about using some tape plugins, and I thought, you've got a tape recorder. Why don't you see if you can compare the plugins versus an actual tape recorder? So anyway, we roll this here and we'll see. Got the signal coming in here. Okay, so we're hitting the tape recorder with our mix that's a WAV file, and I got a session here at 96K 32-bit. And so I've already run tones and levels and stuff, and everybody's happy. So let's roll it and do it to it here. Here we go. Of course, I am monitoring. We're monitoring off the playback head of the tape recorder, okay? And we're recording to our DAW in real time, right? And as you can see, it's a little later in time because the tape head, the repro head, is later than the record head, as one would expect. So what we're hearing right now is the tape recorder. So right, so we'll get this done and then we'll do some plugins. Yay. Okay, cool. So I did another pass on the TEAC, but recorded the WAV file 3 dB lower so there'd be a little less saturation, and I'd have two different recordings on the TEAC that would have a slightly different sound to them. It's now time to sync up the tape tracks with the original WAV file that the tape was recorded from. We'll get these two guys in sync. Go with a transient here. Hello. Just eyeball it. Just keep zooming in until you get there to where. That's the original WAV file. IPS TEAC -3. So let's just see if these things are in sync. I guess we're a little out of phase there. Yeah, the tape is out of phase with the, you can see it. That's one reason when I listened to them simultaneously, they just like, they almost disappeared. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I've got those in sync. Let's hook up some plug-ins here and A/B those against the tape. Let's see, so we want to take this guy here and put Ampeg 102. Okay, great. All right, I've already got two things set up. I have Scotch 250 15 IPS and 456 15 IPS. So we'll do the Scotch 250 first. How do you want to, you don't want to go through converters. Let's grab the input here. Scotch 250, we want to come from one of the other tracks. Bang. We want to come from this track here. Yeah, good. Okay, great. That's perfect. I can go from there to there and roll it in real time and not go through converters. That's lovely. So let's get the plug-in involved. Here we go. Hit play. All right, so my VU meters on my deck, I want these at 0. There we go. And we'll get 1K. All right, and then we'll go out at -20. Let's go ahead. We're going to be coming into here, so let's turn this down so it's not going to kill us. All right, then turn this on. So now let's look at the input on this lovely device here. All right, so we're going to want our input higher. Okay, bring this up to 0. All right, there we go. Now we got -20 at 0. So that will replicate what I had on my deck. Boom. So we're at 0, going through the deck. So let's go ahead and if I hit play. All right, let's give it a shot. Let's roll it. So bang, hit record. Here we go. So that's a heck of a lot more amplitude looking than what's up top. This doesn't make sense. So if this was acting like an actual tape recorder, it would be later in time. All right, a little explanation here about erase head, record head, repro head, etc. On a tape recorder, for those of you who have never really worked with them, you have an erase head first, then you have a record head, then you have a playback head. This particular recorder has 2 playback heads because it has 2 formats of playback, but the distance between the record head and the playback head is about 100 milliseconds or so, depends on the machine itself. So if you monitor, you see you have source and tape button here. If you monitor tape, what you're listening to is the playback head. So you can be rolling and recording and be listening to the playback head while in time you're recording at this point in time, but you're hearing in this point in time. So that's the reason there's a delay off of the repro head or the playback head. And it's not later in time. I guess they just defeated that reality, and defeat that reality they did. Let me show you. All right then, on the plugin we can open it up and take a look at the inside here. Now if you turn this on and you put it to 100% wet, then it is actually playing back later in time, and here it's 124 milliseconds, because on this deck going at 15 IPS, the distance between the record head and the playback head is 124 milliseconds. So in order to not make it annoying, you can defeat that delay so you can hear the effect of the tape saturation without having to deal with the physical delay. Okay, let's do this one. Let's do the same thing, get our tones. Boom, go. Okay. All right, so I've leveled out all these different things. I've got two versions of the TEAC, one is 0, one 3 dB lower, recorded 3 dB lower. So the first one would have more saturation, second one has less. The 250 tape is a +9, so it's going to have a lot of saturation on it, and I recorded it up to where it was at 0. Okay, so let's A/B these things. We've got the WAV file, we got the two TEAC versions, and we have the two plug-in versions. Just going to go over the same 4 bars of a song here so we can go back and forth. And I'll have graphics to tell you which ones we're listening to. Here we go. There's the 5 versions right there in that section. Let's go to one more section and we'll go back and forth on that. Okay, here's a second thing to listen to A/B. We'll start off with the WAV file. Here we go. Great, so there's that section. Going to do one more section that has some vocals in it. Okay, this is an area of the song that has vocals, harmonies, and drums raging with a bunch of cymbals. So a lot of high-end kind of stuff. Here we go. Tell me something never knew. Take me somewhere you'd like to go. Tell me something never knew. Take me somewhere you'd like to go. Tell me something never knew. Take me somewhere you'd like to go. Tell me something never knew. Take me somewhere you'd like to go. Tell me something never knew. Take me somewhere you'd like to go. Okay. Okay, please leave a comment if you are so likely inclined, letting me know what you thought the difference between the real tape recorder and the ATR 102 plugin by UAD, how they compared with each other, the different tape formats on the UAD compared to, I only have one tape format here on my machine. I personally thought that there was an amazing amount of like 45, 50 hertz that was in the TEAC that was not in the plug-in emulation, and also all 3 came across as adding high-end, like high-end, you know, 10K to 15K, that kind of stuff. I'm so old I can barely hear that stuff, but I do sense it a little bit. Maybe you hear it better than I do. This is Rusty Smith for Record, Mix, Repeat. Please subscribe, ring the bell, come back often. I'm always making videos. Have a great day.